Hey, this is John with Fender. In this video, we're going to review all the great features and tones available in the Fender Champion 100 XL. Really cool black on black look, a more aggressive tone overall, and the big brother to the 50 XL, and a supercharged addition to the Champion line of Fender amps. So some really great things to talk about with this one, so let's get right into it. This amp features two channels. We have channel 1 on the left side, which gives you all of your clean tones, and then channel 2 over here is your distortion channel, so low gain tones all the way up to metal and everything in between. We have classic effects like delay, chorus, reverb, tremolo, and more for each channel, plus 4 STOMPBOX effects: compression, overdrive, distortion, and octave. Now each channel has its own effects control, so say on the clean channel, you can dial in a delay or chorus or reverb, and then switch over to your gain channel and have something completely different set up. Now the cool thing is, for each channel, we have a tap tempo control, so you can actually tap in the time of your delay or modulation speed. And add to that an effects loop for adding even more effects. Right here in the front, we have your pre-out and power in. We have headphone out for silent practicing, auxiliary in if you want to jam along with some tracks, and then we have a 2-button foot switch that comes with the amp to go between the two channels, and you can turn the onboard effects on and off. And then we have 2 Celestion Midnight 60s speakers to handle the big tones this amp has on tap. All right, let's hear some more from the amp. So the tone up top for the play-in, I started on the clean channel with a little bit of reverb, and then I switched over to the gain channel with the foot switch, and I was set on the British setting with some delay and reverb as well. So let's focus on the clean channel for now. I'll add in some effects, and then we can jump over to the gain channel in a bit. All right, so here's the clean channel. Now I have the EQ set fairly flat here, so I have everything at 12 o'clock. And then we'll go through each effect. I'm going to start with no effects at all, and I'll just kind of go around on the wheel, and we'll go through all of them. So here is just the clean tone, no effects. Next up is position 2, which is the touch wah. You can hear that cool funky tones going on here. All right, so then we have flange in position 3. Hear a little bit of that with the clean tone. All right, let's check out the VIBRATONE settings. We have 2 speeds, slow and fast. 4 is slow, position 5 is fast. And remember, once you dial those in, you can also go to tap tempo and customize the tempo from there. So I'll play a little bit, I'll start slow, and then I'll change it over to the fast. You can hear the differences. Okay, here's slow. Okay, so more modulation settings here. Next up we have chorus at position 6. We'll hear that. Then we have combinations of chorus and delay, and then chorus and reverb. We'll start with chorus and delay in the next position. Then we have chorus and reverb. We have a couple different delay settings. We have a slapback as well as a long. And again, remember, once you have those in, you can also change them with the tap tempo. But first up is the slapback delay. And then we can go to delay long. All right, and then we have a couple of tremolo settings, slow and fast. So we'll start off with slow. Here we go with slow. All right, now we get into our reverb settings. And again, we have a few different versions of that. There's reverb with delay, and then there's reverb 1, 2, and 3 as far as the different lengths of the reverb time. So here's reverb with delay, first up. Okay, and then here's reverb 1. Reverb 2. And then finally, reverb 3. All right, so that's channel 1, all your clean tones. Let's switch over to channel 2 with the foot switch here. Now we are operating on this side of the amplifier. So let's first go through the voices. The effects are exactly the same on the dirty channel than as on the clean channel, but we'll go through the voices first, keep the effects off, and then I'll run through a couple different effects to see how they sound along with the dirty tones. All right, so on your voice select here, we have a number of different Fender amps, everything from blackface, twins and deluxes, and some tweed options as well. So let's first start in position 1, which is Fender Clean, which is your studio preamp, and here's what that sounds like. All right, so Fender Clean 2, now you have your 65 twin setting. So blackface 65 twin. So I want to call one thing out before we move on. So on your voice selecting, now this is your basic amp setting. So whether it's a twin, deluxe, bassman, whatever you might select, remember that you have a gain control as well, so you can crank that up. Now your clean tone, here's my 65 twin again. You can always crank that gain up to go into a little bit of overdrive. So at that point, it's like your 65 twin kind of just cranked up until it gets into that sweet spot of natural overdrive. The next setting is your Fender Clean 3, and that's the 65 Deluxe. Now on this setting, you're gonna hear a little bit more gain. And remember, we can back off to clean it up or go forward on the gain control to get it even more distorted. So here it is, gain midway. Now if I back off on the gain a little bit, cleans up and I can go all the way forward. And now we get into the first of the 4 stomp boxes that we have included on the voice selector. Now this combines a 65 twin with compression, so let's hear that. Gain is at midway. All right, now let's head over to our crunch settings. We have 3 Fender crunch settings. So first up is the 59 Bassman. Let's hear that one. Very cool. Now if I crank up the gain, okay, now we go into the 57 Deluxe, which is Crunch 2. Let's hear that one. And then last up on the crunch settings, we have your 65 Princeton. We'll hear that one start with gain midway. Now let's take a look at the second of the 4 stomp boxes that we've added in the amp. This one is overdrive, and we combine the overdrive with a 65 Deluxe amp. So let's hear that. We'll start with a gain midway. All right, now into a whole different direction, into our British settings. First up is your British clean. Now this is a 60s type British tone. Let's hear that. All right, now we're into our British crunch setting. So this is 70s British. All right, now we have your 80s British crunch in British Crunch 2. And then the third stomp box, we add distortion to the British setting. So this is a 70s British amp with distortion. Let's hear that. You can even crank that up for some more gain. Now, if that's just not enough distortion for you, we do have some high gain settings. So we have 4 different high gain settings. We have one, which is the supersonic. We have 2, which is a high gain 90s metal. And then 3 is a 2000 metal tone. And then the last one is the 4th stomp box, which adds the octaver to the high gain setting. So let's go through those 4 right now. Here's the supersonic setting, the Fender Supersonic. Next up is the high gain 2 setting, which is your 90s metal. So let's check that out and have some fun with this one. We have your 2000 metal setting. And last but not least, we can add in the fourth of the 4 stomp boxes. This one is the Octaver. Add it to the high gain setting, so the 90s metal plus Octaver. Let's hear that. I'm going to turn the volume up just a little bit. So that gives you an idea of what the voices in the amp sound like, along with the 4 stomp box effects. Let's choose one of the settings. So I'm going to go with British Crunch. And then we'll add in some effects to see what the effects sound like, along with the distorted tones. So here is the tone without effects. All right, so I'm going to hit the effects on my foot switch. And this is reverb and delay. Remember, you can use your tap tempo here. I can make a longer delay. Okay, or I can use it again to make it a quicker delay. All right, let's hear what the flange sounds like with that same setting. All right, let's go over to, let's see, we have the VIBRATONE. And then we can hear what the chorus sounds like in the amp with distortion. And that's the Fender Champion 100 XL. Wonderful amp for players looking for an easy-to-use amp packed with lots of tones and features. It's great for practice, it's great for recording, and at 100 watts, it's also great for live performance. So for more information on the rest of the Fender Champion line of amps, you can visit fender.com, and then stay tuned here for more videos. We'll see you soon.